11:37. I'm calling this to order at 11:07 a.m. We're gonna give public comments at the beginning and the end. There are a lot of you present. We do want to move through business quickly and efficiently, but at this time it's in order to give public comment for up to 2 minutes. If you'd like to stand up and address the room, come to the front. Mr. Watkins, if you wouldn't mind keeping time.
Here.
And please say your name clearly and state.
Ed Wimmers, California. So two things. One is if everybody on the LNC could say their name, that would be great, just so all of us would know who's who. And secondly, I don't know if it's appropriate, but I have an anti-war resolution that I would like adopted. Now, I don't know whether that's appropriate for this meeting or not, but, and if so, how should that go about? How should we go about that?
I think we should do that towards the end for new business without previous notes.
Okay, and I'll write it down and give it to the secretary.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Our next, for public comment, just you could line up and make your way up here.
My name is Richard Brown. I was the convention parliamentarian. I want to thank the LNC, especially Angela McCardle, for asking me to serve as your convention parliamentarian. And it went, I thought, surprisingly smoothly. I anticipated much worse. The general decorum from the membership, you know, I thought people behaved very well for some libertarian groups.
That one guy. Wow.
It was a pleasure working with your chair, Angela McCardle, and with Karen and Harlos, the three, and then with Andrew Watkins, your vice chair. The four of us conferred many times, and in almost all of the major decisions, parliamentary-wise, we were all in agreement, and it was a pleasure working together as a team. We really did work together, and I want to thank everyone, and especially thank Ms. McCardle.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Dan Lewis from the great state of Illinois, represented by Bill Redpath. Congratulations.
I wouldn't use the word great so loosely if I were.
Okay. The state is state of Illinois, but with a great Libertarian Party there. Congratulations on the convention. As I echo the words that he just said. And since I didn't get to do this at the convention because I didn't want to waste people's time, this is a little more informal. On behalf of the Professional Wrestling Caucus, I would like to propose at the 2026 Grand Rapids Convention, we decide the LNC chair in an elimination chamber match. I know you'll do it.
I will do it.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Greg Semple from Michigan. I'm a former state chair. I've been a candidate for public office in 14 consecutive elections. And unfortunately, on June 11th, I will be seeing all of you in federal court in Cincinnati because I am one of the Michigan 8. So I am here to address the new members of this board. I would like all of you to spend the next couple of weeks and learn about the situation in Michigan from both sides. Talk to people that led up to the dispute that led to the lawsuit. And also talk to people on the board currently recognized, because a lot of the problems that led to the split are manifesting themselves again. So I just wanted to keep this brief. I lost my voice last night around midnight. I'd like to again congratulate Angela and all of the board, including Andrew for his election to the LEC, and I hope the best moving forward. And please consider dropping the lawsuit after doing your research. Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, thank you. It's two opportunities. I am Mark Greenstein from Connecticut. Two for candidates. One for the LNC's consideration about citing the 2028 convention. I understand that's in your hands over the next year. In a spot where ballot access is really tough. New York, perhaps. Tennessee. I know Illinois is tough. We have 900 delegates who at some point like to get out of the building anyway. We could do Chicago in one afternoon and get 40,000 signatures. New York is more expensive as a hotel place, so that's tougher. Cincinnati, not bad for both Ohio and Kentucky. Tennessee might be good. I urge just your consideration for the siting where we can do the work ourselves of ballot access and save a lot of money. My other is on behalf of any local candidates this year who could get a debate with even one of the two big party people. I hold a set of forums. We did a set in New Hampshire. Chase was at one of them where it was Chase plus a couple Republicans, one Democrat. We want to be debating as much as possible. If I'm doing that, the Libertarian candidate is free of charge. Get one other person, leave an empty seat for the stooge that doesn't want to show up, that's usually the Democrat, and we could have good media. Thanks. I got a couple that I can present. May I leave them with you, Karen? In case people want to see more.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
TJ Cozen, Pennsylvania. I wanted to speak to the board about two things. I guess I'll lead off with the negative. Why not? Over the course of this convention, we had one particular individual who completely and utterly embarrassed this party. This individual made me have to call EMS up to his room to help him. The next day, he came on our convention floor, made a derogatory statement against our chair. It was very inappropriate towards women. He then got in a fist fight with a MAGA supporter at the Trump thing. Putting hands on someone which does violate the non-aggression principle. When the vote happened with Termott endorsing Chase Oliver, he came over to Michael Heiss and told him to go go F himself, you Mises piece of S. This is not indicative of the party. He is from the state of New Mexico. If you want me to say his name, I can. I don't know if you want me to. But I urge this, I submitted the evidence to Andrew and Ms. McCardle, Chair. I urge this board to take whatever disciplinary action they need to with the state of New Mexico to do the same with their delegate. Or, this is not what we stand for. On a more positive note, from the Candidate Support Committee, we wanted to thank the previous LNC for all their support. Ms. McCardle has been instrumental in helping candidate support. She helped me bring voter gravity to this party. We worked hand in hand, day and night, sometimes 2, 3 o'clock in the morning just to get states online with voter gravity. I urge all states to join voter gravity and help build this thing up so it'll help future generations of candidates from local up to the federal level. We only have one request from the LNC. We would like to be, for future candidate support committees, to be a stand-in report committee so that we can get to you quicker and articulate what the candidates are requesting in a timely manner so you can vote on it.
Thank you, Mr. Cozen.
Hi everyone, I'm Allison Graham from Pennsylvania. I was your secretary of the credentialing committee this year for this convention. I don't see Josh Lapka or Billy Pierce, the other officers, the chair and vice chair of that committee in the room. I'm sure they're traveling, but I just wanted to take a moment to thank the delegation chairs, the state chairs, because as everyone knows, this was a rather complex and difficult and challenging year for credentials. But as far as being on the floor, we heard a lot of appreciation from every group, from the delegates, and we thought it was a relatively smooth process, so we appreciate that. I want to make sure I called out thanking the veterans. We're in the shadows of Arlington National Cemetery here, so thank you, especially if you served in this room on this Memorial Day Monday. And it was a special privilege of mine as being from the great, I will say the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, that we are in the 250th anniversary of the First Continental Congress from 1774, which my 6th great-grandfather, Timothy Matlack, served as clerk. He scribed the Declaration of Results of the First Continental Congress. He is the scribe of the Declaration of Independence, and he is one of the secretaries of the Continental Congress and of Pennsylvania during the war. So it has been my privilege to serve our delegates in the same role that he served those delegates 250 years ago.
So in other words, he was the Karen Ann Harlow.
He was the wanted to thank you from my family for the privilege of serving our delegates in a secretarial role, the way that he did those 250 years to those esteemed delegates that form our country in the spirit of liberty. So thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Jan Koch. I'm from Colorado. In 1996, I talked to my friends and acquaintances about voting for Harry Brown.
Can't hear you.
Thank you. In 1996, I talked to my friends and acquaintances about voting for Harry Brown. I did the same thing in 2000. Often I would get the response that, well, I like what he stands for, but if I vote for him, I'd be wasting my vote. And I wonder how many people have encountered that kind of response.
You're not healthy if you haven't.
So in 2000, I listened to a internet broadcast by some representatives of the Green Party. They talked about instant runoff voting. And when I heard that, I said, of course, that is the problem. People can't vote for more than one candidate. So people who like the Green candidate, with better voting methods, they would be able to vote for their favorite candidate, and they could participate in the realistic election between the Democrat and the Republican. So I did some research on IRV. For a while, I was very enthusiastic about it. As I studied more about it, I became less enthusiastic. I think IRV will free people to vote for their favorite, and then vote for whoever they want between the Democrat and Republican. But it will not get us out of the two-party duopoly.
Thank you, Mr. Cook.
Australia has been using it for 100 years, and they still have a two-party system.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Kat McElroy from California. I wanted to congratulate the new board, and I have a request for all of you because I know how hard the members that were on the previous board worked. Going forward, I'm hoping that you will all contribute towards making fundraising calls for this party. It would be very simple for each of you to save 1 hour a week for fundraising calls. That would be 50 hours times all of you guys, and we'd actually make some headway in improving sort of a steady stream of financial improvement and not just rely on a big convention. So I would really appreciate if all of you would think about making that commitment, 1 hour at least a week towards fundraising calls, so it's not all on the shoulders of 1 or 2 people on the committee. And congratulations again, thank you.
I'm Andrew Polsky, chair of the Libertarian Party in New York. First of all, congratulations to the newly elected members of the LNC. And as many of you are aware, New York is a very tough state with our increased ballot access from 15,000 signatures to 45,000 signatures. And we needed 50,000 votes previously, and now we need 2%, which is roughly around 180,000 votes. So we're at a really tough spot. We are filing. Our filing deadline is in 29 hours. I would just ask, I need some paperwork signed because I have a 6-hour drive to Albany. The filing deadline is in 29 hours. I need to get the petitions filed. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Philip Dale of Virginia. First of all, I wanted to thank everyone for working so hard to make this possible, given what a raucous and crazy and amazing convention, but very tiring convention this was. So thank you, especially to Chairman Puddle. And I also wanted to congratulate Mr. Redpath to his election to treasurer. He's came and spoke at my high school. And both in high school and in Harding, Virginia, and he helped encourage me to look into the Libertarian Party, and now I feel honored to see him take this position as treasurer, and I'm looking forward to seeing how I've been talking to people I think people are feeling very good about how this convention went, so afterwards at least I was talking to people, and I think they're looking forward to seeing how we can unify our efforts to make the party stronger moving forward, given all the media attention we're getting. But one thing I was thinking about was that we all missed the presidential gala pretty much, right? All of us are doing that, right? And I'm thinking that maybe for the future, maybe we can push off some like important fundraising events and things like that, or particular like until to another day, or maybe even extend the length of the convention by a day or something, given that it seems like in the first day people kind of want to get a lot of motions and they're excited and stuff out of their system, for lack of a better word, and maybe that can slow things down. And then and towards the end, of course, we can have very lengthy debates and stuff. And we don't want to miss the opportunity to to do fundraising or anything like that. I don't know exactly what all the plans were for the gala, but I think that that might be prudent for the future. We can learn maybe some lessons for how this convention went to improve how future conventions will go. And that's it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Annie Kalin. I'm from Oregon. I'm the chair of the Multnomah County Democrats in Portland, Oregon. And I want to follow up on what Mr. Koch was saying, because I think he didn't quite get to his thesis about voting methods. Like him, I supported instant runoff voting, also known as ranked choice voting, for a while. I thought I was very excited about it. But as I learned more about it, I learned that it has several flaws. Like he said, in Australia, where they use it in a single winner version, and the House has maintained the duopoly for 100 years. There's a lot of mathematical reasons for this. I encourage everybody to do some research on it. I'm the president of the Equal Vote Coalition, which is a nonpartisan organization advocating for voting methods that provide an equally weighted vote. That does not include our choose one only voting method that we use now. It does not include instant runoff voting either. It does include approval voting, star voting, and Condorcet methods. So I think it would be really wonderful if this board would convene a voting method task force to study all the different voting methods. It's a really interesting topic, at least to me. And I think that that would be the best way forward to make sure that we don't, I don't think any of us are happy with doing 7 rounds of this really elaborate, long process to elect our presidential nominee, when we could do it in one vote with a good voting method. So I just encourage everybody to do the research, and thank you very much.
I'm Rich Tomaso from New Hampshire, former state chair, former thanks everyone who came to our pizza party. I think it was Friday. You all ate 30 boxes of pizza. That's awesome. One upcoming event, we invite all your Pork Fest, which we hold in New Hampshire in June. There's a discount code LP 2024. I think it's 10% off for $10, $20. 2,000 libertarians, no voting. If you're staying up late, it's because you're having beers or something else around a campfire with your friends. Ask anyone who's ever been. It's the best libertarian event in the country, maybe in the world. I do have one request for this next LNC. Since you're going to be picking the 2028 convention, I really hope you do it earlier in the year. If it's going to be in the South, that's fine. Miami, Dallas, wherever. If we had our nominees, say, in February or early March, most of the Northeast states could do their own petitioning and probably save $100 grand. It would also give our candidates a lot more time. So please, seriously consider that. And if you have a site selection committee, I will happily volunteer to help make that happen. So thanks, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Samuel Bowler from the state of Alabama. I'm our state chair. This weekend, 49 years ago, the LNC approved our affiliate. And that means 1 year from now is our 50th anniversary of that momentous occasion. And so we're going to try to do it up very big, and we would like to invite all the LNC members to come to our great state So go ahead and mark your calendars for 1 year from now. It's the weekend of May 24th, 25th, and it will be in Huntsville, Alabama. Secondly, we're working on ballot access between now and then. And so we've got just shy of 90 days to get all the signatures we need, just a little more than like 6,500, I believe. So we're going to be busting our butts to get that. Any help that we can get. We're doing some fundraising on our own, but we're going to probably need to get help getting additional funds. And then lastly, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. I know this is a very difficult thing to do. You have to put in a lot of time and effort, and I just appreciate every single one of you that would go ahead and take on this role. Thank you.
Good day, I'm Data Logan. I live near Seattle, Washington. There's been a couple people up here talking about approval voting, so I just wanted to speak about ranked choice voting, which I am proponent of. I'm with Fair Vote Washington, one of the founding members of Fair Vote Washington, and I'm on the board of directors of that organization. Certainly, either method would help us and help society, right? Move over the spoiler effect and the money, right? The fact that 90% of all elections are won by whoever had the most money, right? Either system does that. But I just want to mention ranked choice voting in the multi-winner version absolutely does get rid of the two-party system. It's been used in Cambridge, Massachusetts for over 100 years. It's been used in New Zealand since 1993, and they have like 8 parties. So just want to put that out there. That, and the other big thing about how, yes, instant winner ranked choice voting isn't as great. It solves a lot of problems, and it's also a lot more easier for people to transition. Like recently, Seattle had a choice between the two, and the vast majority of people are far more comfortable with ranked choice voting than they are with approval voting, like we saw in Seattle. So I think it's a good transition point to get to that multi-winner ranked choice voting that we would want.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Chuck Moulton. I was previously in Pennsylvania where I helped elect a lot of libertarians locally with the help of a lot of people in my state. I also served as vice chair of this committee many years ago under Chair Bill Redpath. I had the privilege of being elected to the party's bylaws committee by the past LNC, where I was originally the first alternate, became a committee member, and eventually vice chair of the bylaws committee. Unfortunately, we didn't get to our bylaws report this convention. I hope you will consider me for the bylaws committee for the next term so that we can continue our work, and I hope we get a chance to present our report to the delegates. Thank you very much.
Mr. Redpath. Mr. Kolstein, where are you at? Andy Gochka. We're going to have Mr. Redpath and our secretary.
Madam Chair, the first speaker asked us to ID ourselves. Introduce ourselves.
Yeah, let me finish public comment first.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Okay,
our secretary?
Yeah, just one moment.
Yep.
I'll get myself down here. Just because in my region, I don't believe the misbehaving member was a New Mexico delegate. They might have lived in New Mexico. I don't know who it is, and I don't want anyone named personally. But I know all the delegates that were sent by New Mexico, and I don't think it was any of those individuals. And if it was, please let me know privately. I really would like everyone to understand the tremendous effort put forth by the convention tellers. I don't think anyone, like Mike Seebeck could probably, communicate that, but I've been to quite a few conventions, pay a lot of attention to the secretarial side, and each time I hope we improve. But there's been conventions where counting one round could take 3 hours. These tellers had it done the minute the last delegation chair turned in their sheet. They had the results, and I don't know if that's ever been done. And one thing before two other things. Apologize for having to ask people to repeat things. Is my time up right? Repeat things over and over. The audio was so bad up there. I hope we get on the record. We need monitors on the stage. It was, oh my God. I'm terrified of doing these convention minutes. There's going to be a lot of times it says unknown delegate moved X. One last thing, can I please? I also am an RCB supporter, so I'm with Dana Logan.
Okay, thank you. Well, our last public comment, if it's available, I'm curious if we have a convention revenue update.
We do. As of this morning, we have $577,932. Currently, expenses are estimated at $365,000. I will say that over the course of the weekend, I heard about some additional.
It's $7,643.
Okay, so up to, we can just say 375. So that's over 192,000 in profit right now. This does not include any independent fundraising that we did outside of WordPress over the weekend. I personally know about at least $8,000, and I believe that there will be some more. That's between some donations that came in the form of a check, and also a couple lifetime members.
Beautiful.
I'm sure there's more that I don't know about yet.
Thank you very much. All right, that's going to conclude public comment for the opening session. If you came in late, if you thought of something, we're going to come back to public comment at the end of the meeting. Okay, housekeeping is an adoption of agenda, so let's actually run through that before we adopt anything. We've got report of potential conflicts of interest, credentials check, which means are you current on your dues at the national level? Officers' reports, I think we can breeze through that very quickly. Staff reports, we may not have those. Council's report, we don't have. Regional reports, we'll probably hear about your regional agreements. Committee reports, we're probably not going to have those. Yes.
Quick update, just historical update. So, like 2 seconds on historical.
Sure. Unfinished business and items postponed from previous meeting. Not sure if we're going to have anything that's relevant. New business with previous notice. Someone mentioned a resolution. Presentation and approval of budget. That is not happening.
That's fourth quarter meeting.
Closing ceremony.
Madam Chair, do we still want to introduce ourselves? I guess we could do it during roll call.
Oh, yes, let's do that during roll call, which we haven't actually had yet. That should have been on there.
That's interesting. I'm going to do a policy manual amendment. You know how much I love those.
Yay. Okay, let's go ahead and do attendance and roll call, and then we'll adopt our agenda. Mr. Redpath?
Well, I would say we should probably talk about ballot access. I think we should, and pardon me for saying this, but I think perhaps part of it should be an executive session.
Well, would you like to do that in unfinished business or new business? Well, new business.
New business is fine.
All right, sounds good. We're going to put ballot access in new business.
And I intend to redo the special rule of order of our monthly e-meetings. I want to make that motion again for this time.
Sure, fantastic. So those are our new business items: ballot access, monthly meetings, which is old business, but new business.
Appointment of standing committees, or appointment of
Oh,
that's in there?
Yeah,
we can do that. Okay, that's our agenda. So before we adopt that, can we do roll call?
Madam Chair, I think the easiest way to do this actually, and it would serve the same purpose, and what Mr. Redpath brought up, that something came up during public comment, starting with Mr. Heyman, because that's just how I am, to say who they are, a few words and just go around the table, and we'll have it in the recording, and then the audience knows who everyone is.
Is that how we're adopting the agenda, or that's how we're doing attendance and roll?
Well, it's a standing agenda.
Okay.
So you don't have to actually adopt new business without previous notice. You're allowed to just bring that forward.
All right.
Hello, Adam Newman, Vice Chair of Nevada. I live in Las Vegas. I'm the Region 1 representative.
Mark Rutherford, Vice Chair of the Libertarian National Committee. I work in Indianapolis and live in Carmel, Indiana, and great to be back on the Libertarian National Committee. Thank you all.
Greg Hirsch, Clarksville, Indiana. I'm the Region 3 alternate. And before this, I was on the 9th District Rep of the Indiana Central Committee. I'm also the county treasurer of the local county party.
I am Dustin Anna. I was elected to serve again as region rep, for one of the region reps for...
Oh, nice.
I was seeing the duck.
Sorry about that.
Open the door. Open the door so we can see where it's at, and no one will lean on it.
Yes, and every time I speak, let's go on.
He's a big part. There we go.
I was reelected as one of the...
All right, one second, Justin. All right, settle down.
All right, let's see if I can get through it this time. Re-elected as a Region 3 representative. There's going to be a good talk about later. I need to for Region 3. I've been on the LNC since 2017, and I'm back again. There's something wrong with it, probably.
You know that.
I'm Keith Thompson. We accidentally made a Region 3 block here. I'm one of the Region 3 alternates as well. I'm active in the Louisiana affiliate and I've done a lot of volunteer work for the National Party. And thank you all for suckering me into this.
Hello, my name is Paul Dar. I'm now another Region 3 representative, previously Region 7 alternate. I'm from the great state of Texas. Well, as great as any state can be, Texas is great in its own way with the people. San Antonio specifically. I am on the XCOM in what we call the SLEC in Texas, and I'm also secretary for my county party up there.
I'm the newly elected treasurer of the LNC. I'm chair of the Libertarian Party of Illinois. I am the National Ballot Access Coordinator. I'm a member of the Ballot Access Committee. I am co-editor of Ballot Access News and ballot-access.org with Richard Winger, and otherwise in the future.
Travis Boss, West Virginia. I'm the Vice Chair of the Libertarian Party of West Virginia and now at large LNC.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Meredith Hayes. I am the Region Rep for Region 4, which is one state, California. I am the Secretary of my county party, and I live in the Bay Area, the belly of the beast. My feet are killing me.
Good morning. I'm Andrew Watkins, currently at large, previous vice chair of the LNC, previous Region 5 rep of the LNC, and I'm back.
My name is Paul Bracco. I'm the Region 5 alternate. I served on the Bylaws Committee, I was the Vice Chair of the Libertarian Party of Virginia, and former local treasurer. But let me know if you have any bylaws questions. I think a lot of states don't want that. Results of Friday. Let's clean it.
I'm Ben Weir. I'm Region 8 alternate. I'm from the free state of New Hampshire, and I'm also the founder of the Libertarian Party emo caucus.
My name is Pat Ford. I'm from the great state of Rhode Island, the birthplace of the American Revolution. The former chair of the state of Rhode Island, and I'm the Region 8 representative, which is Cape May, Canada. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Andrew Chatterton. I am the chair of the Libertarian Party of Michigan, and I am the Region 1 alternate.
I'm Jonathan McGee from the great state of Alabama, also their current executive director and now the Region 2 rep for the LLC.
Hello, my name is Roman Garcia. I am the other Region 1 rep, and I'm also the Arizona Libertarian Party secretary. Thank you.
Kathy Anascavage, I won't say great state of Arizona, but I will say Tucson, the temporary home of Ross Hallberg.
My name is Angela McArdle. I am your chair.
Karen Ann Carlos, I think most people know me, and tied now for four-term secretary. I think Bob Solenthrop was the one who had done it before, so the other longtime masochist, I suppose.
Single message.
And Pat, you are now Region 6, by the way.
Oh, nice. What do I do?
Because there are two super regions, so all the region numbers went down. So
Classic Rhode Island.
Let's chat about branding afterwards. We'll chat about that. All right. Mr. Colsey, a notary will be here at 1:30. That was the soonest we could get one. He's outside. 1:30, notary. We're working on it for him. Okay, staff reports. Do I have any staff in the room?
Right here.
Any reports? Yes. Yes. You do?
No, not really.
How is Zoho?
Oh, Zoho is going great. My name is Canyon Garden, by the way. I'm systems architect, national staff. During the convention, we launched what we're considering like a beta test of Zoho. The straw polls for, what was it? It was the BT debate and what was the other?
POTUS.
POTUS, yes. Those were facilitated by Zoho. And Angela, I believe you announced during business that the beta.lp.org will be a beta test of a new donation page up. So if anybody would like to make a donation and help beta test our new CRM, beta.lp.org, you can do that. Other than that, we are currently in the process of getting all the data from the old CRM migrated over, and we're really excited to hit the ground running and get the new CRM up and running to help, facilitate all the business that National needs to do that we previously had a lot of trouble doing in the old system. So look forward to that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we don't have a council's report, regional reports. Do you have any regional agreements? Let's just go around and do a brief update.
Sorry, do we still want to do conflict of interest, or was that after?
So with conflicts of interest, I'm going to be getting with everyone, particularly the new people, to send me their potential conflicts of interest. If they have any that they have a burning need to disclose right now that they think is so important that needs to get on the record now, certainly do so. But otherwise, I'll be getting with everyone privately. There's all kinds of stuff. You have no idea how much I'll be bugging you.
I assumed it would need to be written down.
Yeah, and I keep a list. That's something I have on my to-do list.
Yeah, we have a sexual harassment video for you all to watch.
Oh yeah, I got
It's that South Park episode with the panda.
Like a how-to?
No. So anyway, we'll do that, and same with credentials check. All right. Where were we at? Officers' reports. Okay. We're good. Where did I jump to? Oh yeah, we're not doing officers' reports, staff reports, council's report, region reports. Region 1.
I am not prepared to give a
Well, who are
a
the
report
new reps? You signed an agreement, you gave it to the secretary?
Yeah, we did all that. We have a whole bunch of new, we're a super region now, and I'm not even.
Who are your states?
I don't even have state in my head who are.
I'm very tired. Just rattle off what you can remember.
We have all the old Region 1 states except Washington, so Colorado, Nevada, Arizona, Nebraska, Kansas.
Alaska.
Thank you. And then we added Montana, Michigan. Idaho, thank you. Wisconsin.
Minnesota.
Thank you. Minnesota. Oregon. Thank you.
Oregon was already
Was still in, yes.
Hawaii.
And Hawaii. We instituted a wonderful new policy in our Region 1 agreement called the Do Not Disturb Clause, because a lot of state affiliates are just annoyed with how obnoxious and dramatic the LNC is. And so they have the option to just sort of hit pause and unsubscribe and not be bothered by their Region 1 rep, which they can turn on and off at will. Because a lot of state affiliates are just annoyed. You know, we had trouble. We might have like unformed as a region because so many state affiliates, state chairs were just pissed off at national. So having something like this in a regional agreement gives people in the states the peace of mind that they're not going to get drawn into caucus wars or whatever, and they can just focus on their affiliates, which honestly is the strength of a decentralized organization. So I encourage everybody to adopt a policy like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Region 1.
Region 2, it remains unchanged from 2 years ago. It's still Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee. The terms are also unchanged.
Nice. Thank you very much. Region 3.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Region 3 looks a little different this time around. We had a lot of regional reshuffling this year. So the new Region 3 is Ohio, Indiana, Missouri, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, and Oklahoma. Very proud again to be elected to help represent that region. Outside of that, I have no updates for the region.
Actually, there's a Region 3 North and a Region 3 South.
North and South.
Correct. I'll explain it. So we have the way our regional agreement is structured is that there's a Region 3 Northern Conference and a Region 3 Southern Conference. The Northern Conference comprises the states of Indiana, Ohio, and Missouri, and then the other states that I named earlier, the remainder make up the Southern Conference. And myself and Greg Hirsch represent the Northern Conference. Keith and Paul Dar represent the Southern Conference.
Thank you very much.
Just one point of clarification, I wanted to make sure I understood, because when there hasn't been super regions in a while, so that means that Mr. Hirsch would be able to substitute in for you, because when there's alternates, they need to be either ranked or assigned, and Keith Thompson would be paired with Paul Dar. Now with Region 1, they aren't differentiated. Both reps represent the entire region, and the ranking of the alternates, Nick Shawhan is not here, but Andrew Chatterton is ranked 1, Nick Shawhan is ranked 2, and what that means is if there's ever any changes, but say one of the regional reps vote and both of the alternates vote, Mr. Chatterton's vote would be the one that's counted. So we went with I'm in Region 1, so that's why I always say we, the ranked model. I just wanted to be sure everyone said that. And we left off New Mexico.
I am terribly sorry.
I have the whole state.
I mean no personal offense to the great
Alaska,
state.
Arizona, Colorado, Hawaii, Idaho, Kansas, Kentucky. We left off Kentucky too. Michigan.
No, that one I meant.
Michigan, Minnesota, Montana, Nebraska, New Mexico, Nevada, Oregon, and Wisconsin are Region 1.
Adam, there'll be a quiz at the next meeting.
Very nice, everyone prepare.
Make a quiz.
All right, we're jumping to Region 4.
We are one state, one region, no new agreements for you.
Beautiful. Region 5.
So that's just the standard regional agreement, and that is Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, and Morden.
Yep. Region 6/8.
Region 6/8, well, again, other than changing the name, the region remains intact, Cape May, Canada, so the southern tip of New Jersey all the way up to the Canadian border. In terms of regional news, please note that the Libertarian Party of Maine achieved full major party status after great effort by both Ballot Access Committee, a couple of the presidential candidates, and tremendous work by the Executive Committee. There are nearly 6,000 registered Libertarians, 5,000 is a bogey. That effort continues, however, as they try to create a buffer, a permanent buffer, so that is never in trouble. Because if they were to go below 5,000, they'd have 90 days to resume. I'll leave you with this, a great example of cross-state, cross-affiliate cooperation. In the state of Rhode Island, there were 2 significant testimonies in the last month or two. Defend the Guard, which was, if you will, co-run by the Libertarian Party of Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and it was so provocative in our run-up and our publicity to it that the Adjutant General of the Rhode Island National Guard felt the need to show up in person to testify against us. He lost badly, mainly because of the efforts of Brian Z. from Massachusetts, whose provocative testimony actually swayed several highly progressive state representatives. Ballot continues. We're going to be resuming our fight in December. This time we'll have bills both in the House and the State Senate, and our legislation has been formally on the floor of the Rhode Island State House, endorsed by the Rhode Island Secretary of State. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Region 0, I just want to make sure that I'm understanding it. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. The regional states, from what I understand, are Illinois. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct.
What state?
Illinois is going. Can you explain it?
Yeah, okay, I'll explain. So, oh God, how do I do this without taking 30 minutes? So Region 3 and Region 7 combined, as I mentioned, that kind of left a lot of the Region 6 states out in the cold. Obviously, they aren't with us by LNC terms, but I assume a good portion of them are going to come over as an addendum after the fact, unofficially. And we're going to create a Western Conference of states who will elect internally by their own methods, one advisor to the Northern Conference and one advisor to the Southern Conference, so that they will have at least some sort of voice on the board. Now, of course, I believe, as you were about to explain, Region 0 is represented in technical terms by the vice chair.
They're still Region 0.
But they are Region 0 unofficially.
Let me. They can do whatever they want.
That's right.
But our vice chair is still going to mention them in reports.
Yeah, of course.
So I have Illinois, North Dakota, South Carolina, South Dakota, Utah, Washington, and Wyoming.
All right. Thank you. That concludes region reports. We're going to go to committee reports. Convention committee made a lot of money. Worked really hard. TJ Ferreira was not officially on the committee. Did a massive amount of heavy lifting. So thank you very much to him. Otherwise, I would have just faked my death.
That would have been easier for me.
Yes, if I died. Any other committee reports that are relevant?
Okay, several things with the historical committee. Positive, obviously just a misunderstanding, but the display that was on the historical committee table, the buttons that were in that display, those belong to the party. They weren't free. That's why they were in display cases. If anyone here accidentally, with a misunderstanding, took any buttons out of those cases, these need to be returned to the historical committee. Lots of members bought them and sent them in to donate to the party. I can understand a misunderstanding. We will put up clearer signage, if that is a problem. And I would ask the chair's permission, which I'll get with her afterwards. We do have a list of delegate emails to maybe send that out. And there was also some mugs. And again, misunderstanding, I am absolutely positive that the historical committee is asking for those back.
They're retro. Retro buttons need to be returned, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 'cause some of them were donated by people who, like for instance, there's one that's still there, but there's this old Radical Caucus button that I personally paid $60 for and donated to the party. So I do ask for that. But on much more like exciting news, some may remember a while back that the early archive of David Nolan was donated to the Library of Congress. And once something goes there, sometimes, it gets assassinated. But it was a couple of years, but I'm happy to say that we have now a disc of all of those records that were in the Library of Congress. I have a copy of it up in my room, and those will slowly be getting on Elpedia. I imagine there are some treasures in there that we had no idea even existed. I have some personal research projects that I'd like to do with that, but just wanted to announce that we finally do have all of that digitized. We could use volunteers for Elpedia to help us. I have a whole hard drive at home of other stuff that we've had. It's just a matter of getting it up on Elpedia, but really look forward to seeing David Nolan's legacy preserved, because I do think that's not the property of the Library of Congress, that it's the property of us, that, that's our heritage.
Thank you. Any other important last-minute committee things, holdovers? All right, if not, let's see, unfinished business, that's not relevant. New business with previous notice. Okay, so we mentioned...
I hate to keep interrupting, I'm so sorry. I'm not looking at the agenda, so call me an idiot if you want to. Do we want to discuss seating some of the committees that are on the agenda?
Committee reports, selection of executive committee, that is on there.
And then I believe, I know that it is the intent of everybody that was on the previous EPCC to seek another term, so if that's something we think we can dispense with today.
We will vote on that.
Okay.
We will vote on...
Could we ask that the members speak up so that
thank
the
you.
gallery can hear?
All right, so we've got selection of executive committee, APRC, and EPCC. We probably need paper to do balloting on some of these.
I'm going to be stealing more of your paper, Mr. Nash.
You think one page? How many pages?
We've got... Okay, I've got a whole notebook. Well, we could figure this out. So which are we doing then?
Well, let's see, what's the order?
I think it's an executive.
Executive committee. Okay, so we're going to take nominations for executive committee.
Madam Chair, it is customary, but you don't have to, for the chair to say who they would like on the executive committee. The executive committee is the officers plus I think it's up to 3 additional people.
Well, I'm going to nominate Andrew Watkins and Kathy Miscavige. And Stephen Nikela.
Nominate Pat Ford.
Sorry about that.
Andrew Watkins, Kathy.
I'll yeehaw that nomination. Pat Ford has been yeehawed.
And it's how many?
Up to 3.
Up to 3 additional ones.
Okay, who did I miss? I'm sorry, I am so tired.
So I asked for Andrew and Kathy.
Okay.
Those are my picks. I mentioned Stephen because he's not here and I think he would want to be on, but Kathy and Andrew are my
I put Kathy Nikela.
There you go.
Excuse me.
It's really Stephen Malagon.
Yes.
And I yeehawed Mr. Ford. That's it?
Okay, well, it's up to 3. Do all 4 accept?
I don't know. Mr. Nicola did not specify.
Yeah, he only specified the meeting by EPCs.
Okay.
I'll accept.
Okay, there you go.
I accept.
I accept.
All right, so Mr. Nicola is not here. He didn't send a note to anyone, so I'm going to say he did not accept the nomination. But he was honorably mentioned.
Can we just do acclamation then if it's number 3?
We should probably do. All in favor? Please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Oh, consider yourselves appointed. Thank you very much. Our new executive committee consists of the officers, plus Andrew Watkins, Kathy Scavage, and Pat Ford. APRC.
That is 5 members, all LNC members. We have had, there's been an ongoing dispute whether LNC member includes alternates. For APRC, we've had alternates on the APRC.
Okay. I'm going to open nominations. Ms. Harlow?
At the risk of sounding self-serving. I've been on the APRC since 2016, and I would like to be on the APRC again.
Okay. Ms. Harlow has nominated herself. I'm going to nominate Pat Ford, who was also on the APRC prior.
Accept. I'd like to nominate Ben Weir.
Ben Weir. Ms. Scavage.
Adam Heyman.
Adam Heyman. Same choice. Mr. Nana.
Greg Hirsch.
Hirsch. Okay, we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Before asking if everyone accepts, just one word about the APRC. When they send out a communication, you have to be a person who's tied at the hip to your phone. If you're not, please don't be on the committee. My average response time is under 30 minutes. When staff, so you'll get an email, it'll be a communication from the party with a very limited review scope, which is, does it violate the policy, the bylaws, the platform, or I forgot what the exact wording was, damaging to the party in some other way, that would be damaging to the public image of the party. It's not an approval committee, it's kind of a disapproval committee. Yeah. So if staff doesn't hear from you, your silence does indicate consent. And bad thing, not on purpose, things can get missed.
Let me explain a little bit, since I work on the other side of it too. We send out email communications almost every single day. You do not review social media. You review primarily emails. We're about to stand up a completely new LP.org. You're going to review that. Those are the sorts of things you review. I think we have about 2-hour review window. I work with staff to get things up, ready to go. Sometimes, if it's time sensitive and people haven't responded in 5 minutes, I say push it out. I don't do that on anything controversial. This is like, a fundraising email. I think we had 2 or 3 complaints last term. That's about the level. You will occasionally be inclined to critique grammar or suggest an idea. You can do that. We don't usually take all those under submission unless it's an obvious typo, because I just need them to push things up because we've got a ton of things going on. But that's it. That's the purview of this. Now, if we send out an email and it's 1776 and it says 1876 and it's about Independence Day, please do let me know. But you get the idea. All right, any other nominations for APRC?
Could you read them again?
We have Pat Ford, Ben Weir, Adam Heyman, Greg Hirsch, Karen Ann Harlows.
And there's 5.
There are 5.
Move we close nominations.
Beautiful. Any objections to closing nominations? All right. Any How about we approve by acclamation?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Beautiful, you are appointed. Thank you so much. All right. EPCC, Mr. Nana.
I'm going to nominate Kathy Anaskavich.
Okay, Kathy Anaskavich.
I'm gonna nominate Dustin Anna.
All right.
We'd like to nominate Andrew Watkins.
Andrew Watkins. Any other nominations?
Stephen Nicola.
All right. We've got 4 nominations in 3 spots. Andrew Watkins, Dustin Nana, Kathy Anaskavich, and Stephen Nicola.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Heyman.
And Adam Heyman has been nominated. Oh, he's giving a look.
I don't even know what that stands for.
Well, all right.
All the back.
Employment Policy and Compensation Committee. You helped me approve contracts, staffing contracts,
Hell yeah.
policy manual.
Hell yeah.
You're in? All right. Yes.
Andrew Watkins.
Yes, he was, Paul nominated.
Oh, he did.
Okay, so we've got 5 nominations. We've got Andrew Watkins, Adam Heyman, Dustin Nana, Kathy
Is approval voting?
Anaskavich. We will get there. And Stephen Nicola. Okay, what's the policy manual say about how we vote?
Oh, it doesn't, we can, but I have a point of information, well, a request for information from the chair.
Okay, what's the request for information?
Because I've never been, and I never will be, in a runaway screaming from EPCC. Is there an advantage to having a larger committee?
No.
Okay. No. Okay, because I would say, I would put them in the policy manual, if so, okay.
I considered that in the past, and after 2 years of it, I just don't think there is.
Okay.
Madam Chair, it says appointed by the LNC.
Yeah, so it's a method of our choosing. I would move to use approval voting. It would be the quickest and easiest to tabulate.
What is the quickest and easiest?
Well,
Who are going to be our tellers? Mr. Bracco, Mr. Chatterton, Mr. Voss.
You're going to be getting torn up little pieces of
What's the
paper.
quickest way for you to count votes?
No, we're going to pass out.
Approval voting is fine? All right, there we go, approval voting.
I don't know how many people we have here, but I'm just going to be tearing up. Our votes are all public, so you have to write your name, sign your ballot legibly.
We're going to stand at ease. If you want to take a bathroom break, now's a great time.
How many people do we have here? I'm sorry, these are just real snaggle too, but that's just the way it's going to be.
All right, are ballots still being counted?
They are. We have a 3-way tie.
Guys, let's come back to order. All right, guys, let's come back to order. We just need to try to wrap everything else up in the next half hour because we have a notary coming and Karen Ann and I have to start signing paperwork. Not all of it. We have another notary coming at 3:30.
I'm still waiting for the address, which somebody's getting for me of the candidates, because I can't fill out the paperwork with that.
They're right next door. I think, Dosbach just told me that Oliver and Vermont are right next door.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Want me to go get the addresses for you?
No, let's finish the
Just text him, say we need him. Okay, what are the vote results for EPCC?
So Kathy and Andrew were elected, and there's a three-way tie between Dustin, Stephen, and Adam. And I would suggest we break it by rolling some dice.
I'm open to that.
That's fine.
Unless you want to revote.
So do you, what?
A dice is fine.
Do you want to roll your, you want me to roll for?
I think you should, because Stephen can't roll.
Right, so first one is for Dustin, so the highest gets elected. These are Reno dice, so 5.
Good roll.
Hold on. For Stephen, oh God, 11.
Okay, he's lucky.
Maybe unless Adam gets 12.
Adam, give me 5 real quick.
6.
6, all right.
What were the actual tallies? Just like
1 second. Kathy and Andrew got 10, and then the three-way tie was 777.
I think he might have gotten one additional vote.
What?
11, was it 11? And
Oh, yeah, sorry, Kathy got 11. Andrew got 10. I didn't see that extra line there.
All right, thank you, everyone. That takes care of our selection of committees, unfinished business. We're skipping new business with previous notice. Nothing.
Oh, no, there's things.
With notice?
Oh, not with notice, sorry, you know.
New business without previous notice. We mentioned ballot access and one other thing, a resolution.
Okay, so we have ballot access. I wanted to adopt that same special rule of order for monthly meetings. And then there was another, and actually this probably would belong here still with committees. It's not on the standing agenda because it's not a typical thing, but because we are involved in ongoing litigation, I would like to move that the litigation committee from last term, since all the members are still on the LNC, members were you, myself, that's correct, and Ms. Hayes remain.
Okay, so let's put that down.
I was actually making that motion now since we're doing committee.
Oh, okay. So it's been moved and seconded that the litigation committee be reconstituted in its former fashion. Me, our secretary Karen Ann Harlos, and Meredith Hayes. Any objection?
None.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I don't have a comment, I just didn't hear it.
Yeah. It was to move that the litigation committee be reconstituted in its former fashion. Not part of the motion were the names, but, oh yeah, it was actually, which was?
Angela Ricardo, Karen Ann Harlos, and Meredith Hayes. Any objection? Okay, go once, go twice, heard none. Motion is adopted. All right. Next, we've got ballot access, I think.
What about that resolution?
You want to do the resolution and then ballot access?
Yeah,
And then go to... Sounds good to me.
I should have had it from last time, but I'll just do it on the fly. I move that the LNC adopt a special rule of order.
Oh, we want to do that one and then the resolution?
Yeah, it's because since I started writing it.
That's fine. Okay, move that the LNC adopt a special rule of order.
To meet.
I'm so hungry.
At what time did we want to do it?
We were meeting at, I liked meeting at 7 Eastern.
Okay.
I'm willing to make it 8 Eastern. Either of those I can deal with.
So to meet at 7 Eastern on the first Sunday of every month, and these were e-meeting. I'm going to put meet electronically.
Unless?
Yeah, I'm getting to that, yeah. Of every month, unless that date falls within 30 days before or 30 days after an in-person meeting. So I'll read it again. Move that the LNC adopt a special rule of order to meet electronically at 7 Eastern on the first Sunday of every month unless that date falls within 30 days before or 30 days after an in-person meeting.
Seconded.
All right, it's been moved and seconded, essentially to maintain our current electronic meeting policy. So we're meeting on the first of almost every month, unless we're having basically an in-person meeting around the same time. It's been very helpful in the past. Any objection?
That is the first regular online, did you say 7 p.m. Eastern?
Yes.
On Sundays, first Sunday of the month.
Yes.
Will that include Sunday, June 2?
No, not with the provision.
No, not with the provision because that fell within 30 days of an in-person meeting.
We don't have it in June. We probably don't have it in August.
If I could just, for the benefit of the gallery or new LNC members, we did not do this regularly with past LNCs. And I'm going to tell you it's a pleasure that we don't have these scrambles now to gather 5 people to call an electronic meeting for an important vote. We know we're going to have one coming up, and email ballots have gone way down. As I think we saw the last month, a lot of the rules that govern deliberative societies just don't work with email ballots. How do you handle an amendment? How do you handle a point of order and all of that?
It's really fun when you're
Yeah.
scrambling to get ready for convention and everybody has a point of order and you're like, well, I could do that or I could sign a contract and
And email ballots just are not the best way to debate or deliberate. Meetings are.
all right. So is there any objection? I think we explained it thoroughly. Going once, going twice. All right, hearing none, that motion passes. We're going to maintain our current or past, most recent electronic meeting practice. All right, now let's jump to this anti-war resolution, which I have not heard, but I am excited to hear. Mr. Ford.
Madam Chair, just potential discussion of the Florida meeting.
We are going to have that after the anti-war resolution.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I need to look at the bylaws, but I am going to suggest that we, I know it's going to sound terrible after what I just said, do an email ballot because it's a public policy resolution which requires a higher vote threshold.
I know it does. I know it does. I was going to explain. All right, so here's what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to read this and we're going to decide if we're voting on it here, and I think the vote has to be unanimous.
I have to look in the bylaws again.
Or we're going to do an email ballot. Because doing an anti-war resolution and voting it down is a horrible look for us. Don't be that guy.
It's always not great.
If you just can't vote for it, then we can do it on an email motion, and then you vote your conscience, and we don't start off hating each other. Whereas government intervention causes more problems than it solves, and whereas U.S. government intervention causes more wars than it prevents, we, the Libertarian Party, call for the immediate withdrawal of all U.S. troops from foreign lands and the end of all foreign aid. That's it. Whereas government intervention causes more problems than it solves, and whereas U.S. government intervention causes more wars than it prevents, we, the Libertarian Party, call for the immediate withdrawal of all U.S. troops from foreign lands and the end of all foreign aid.
So bylaw says the National Committee may adopt public policy resolutions by a 3/4 vote with previous notice. or by unanimous consent without previous notice. It doesn't say unanimous consent of the entire memberships, meaning the absent people aren't going to kill it. But if one person objects here.
Yeah. Mr. Nana,
I was just going to ask for clarification on that.
on the absences.
Yep.
I can read your mind.
Speak now or forever shame us. You may speak up, and we can go to an email ballot if we need to.
I'd like to go to the email ballot because I think we need to perhaps flesh it out just a little bit. The core sentiment is right on, and I applaud the member for bringing it forward. At the same time, I think we need to there needs to be some speed in it because I think we do have people are paying attention. Something we all did this weekend brought us to the national stage, and I think it's a great sentiment to use off of this newfound attraction we have.
Thank you. Yeah, lots of eyes on us. That's fine if we want to take it to an email ballot. Thank you, Mr. Ford.
I'll motion we can move it to an email ballot.
Yeah. Mr. Wimmers, thank you very much. I love your resolution. I am excited to pass it without watering it down. Maybe we'll make it stronger.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate doing an email ballot so you can flesh it out and make it stronger. And please use it to the best effect, for our party. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Our next in-person meeting is technically set for August 24th and 25th at the Sheraton Hotel in Miami, Florida. I'm getting side-eye, but you know what? We had just agreed to it, and our finances dipped, so I punted it. And guess what? Now we can afford to have that meeting at the Sheraton and pay the hotel, and maybe also have a fundraiser for our presidential candidate.
And where's it again?
The Sheraton.
By the airport. I think it is the airport.
What city though?
Miami. Contract is all ready to sign.
Yeah, I know.
Can we go to the Jackie Gleason show in Miami Beach on Saturday night?
I am not opposed.
Yeah, you have to be of a certain age to appreciate that, I guess.
I'll go, I like them.
So I think we can only
Like cheese.
All right, so everybody be aware, August 24th and 25th, you're going to Miami, Florida. It will be human. But the good news is it's inside, so you could stay inside the whole time. You don't even have to leave.
Motion to move it outside.
Look on the beach.
All right, that brings us up to Mr. Redpath.
Well, Madam Chair, I want to discuss about, and is Mr. Dostok here?
He's next door.
I texted him, let me run, come in.
I think I'll go get
Please,
Let's go grab
bring
him.
him on over, please. I'm going to hold off until he gets over here because I think that he would find some of this to be pertinent. And Madam Chair, I do think some of it will need to be in executive session. I'd like to cover what I think is appropriate in open session.
What are we going into executive session to?
Legal matters
Okay.
and political strategy.
That's totally fine.
Both.
Whose notebook did I steal? It was consensual, so I guess it wasn't that.
Okay. I want to run down the states here where we need to petition yet. Alabama is up first here. Alabama does not have substitution of candidates, ergo we had to set the petition drive, I guess, started about 1 a.m. this morning in Alabama, Eastern time. But it's 5,000 valid signatures. I've spoken with Sam Bowler about this, and he cautioned against high expectations in terms of volunteer signatures. Do you have any idea as to how many volunteer signatures might be generated in Alabama?
Based on the special election in House District 10 at the end of last year, we were able to just our main Madison County affiliate was able to gather around 500 signatures in 2 weeks. Wow. So based on that rate, give or take a little bit, I would say the ballpark for that's going to be between 1,500 and 2,500 potentially in that period.
Between now and August 23. August 23 is the deadline.
Correct.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, I'm sorry, you said 1,500. What was that number again, please?
1,500 to 2,500.
Okay, to all sit. Okay, let me.
Really just depends on the effort. It could be on the lower end, it could be on the higher end.
Okay. So we will need to get a paid petitioner or hire a petitioning firm in Alabama. I've been in touch with a paid petitioner. I asked him to get me a quote as to what he would be willing to do it for, and he is experienced in Alabama. I have not received, I'm going to follow up with him, haven't received a quote yet on that.
Okay.
I would also like to mention Virginia. We have 2 Virginians here at the table.
Yeah.
I would like to end in fact, I've even told Bob Lynch, who's petitioning Virginia right now, I really would like to end that paid drive today and have the volunteers we've got until August, it might be August 23.
Yes, August 27th.
Okay,
So
yeah.
VA ends the paid drive today.
That's the plan.
Okay.
And I would like, of course, Bob is an independent contractor. He will do what he wants to do.
Do we have status?
On Virginia, it's over 5,000 signatures. They need 5,000 valid SIGs.
Well, how many are collected?
Over 5,000
Oh, beautiful.
gross. Okay. So maybe we'll be in the 6,000 ballpark, but then there's a second qualification, and that is 5,000 net total, and plus at least 200 per congressional.
Right.
And there are 11 congressional districts in Virginia.
And the chair said that 1 through 4, they were in good shape, but 5 through 11, we're still in need of additional 6.
And I would hope that volunteers could address that situation themselves, because we have until August 20-something. It's the Friday that's 12 noon on the Friday that's 74 days before Election Day.
So should we say that they need 250? Should we say 270? What's a reasonable to collect?
Per CD, I would like 300. I'd like to get a minimum of 300 gross in each CD. And we certainly need, more is better, but we should be good with 300 in each CD. And we can turn in as we go. There was they were waiting on paperwork anyway. Anyway, I'd really like to move Bob Lynch to another state, maybe Alabama, maybe Kentucky, Mr. Watkins.
Got it, I understand.
I just wanted to note that we should follow up with Kentucky because they were looking for a payout. I know we voted.
I can speak to it. I've been talking with them this weekend. Where they are at right now is, so the way that motion was written, we helped them, there was a check they couldn't cash, so we helped them get that money. We sent them the 5,000, they've already received that. The next qualification was that they had 500 volunteer signatures and expended $5,000 now. They're gonna, Bill, how much do they owe you?
$2,700.
Okay, that plus other stuff that I think they're about to soon pay for will take them past that, and they're very close on the 500 volunteers, so then we will owe them at that point immediately $27,500. And then that'll be the end of that motion. That'll be it. Now.
Okay, wait, so sorry, that was a lot.
No, sorry. Let me
continue. Kentucky. Who owes who what?
We don't owe them anything yet. Okay. Once they reach $5,000 spent on their own, plus 500 volunteer signatures collected, we will owe them $27,500.
Okay, so soon.
Probably soon.
We will owe them $27,500. Okay.
And we may have to take another bite at the apple on this one. It remains to be seen.
How many do they need total?
5,000 net.
5,000 net.
And there's no distribution requirement, it's just a straight 5,000 net.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, so I mentioned Virginia. District of Columbia, this is one that I think the LNC has decided not, the previous LNC decided not to pursue. I think it's about 5,200 net SIGs roughly. It starts June 14, I believe, ends August 7. It is, I would say that I've petitioned in a lot of different states. Petitioning in the District of Columbia is the most challenging thing, particularly in Caucasian neighborhoods, in my opinion, the most difficult thing I've encountered in my life. And it's a rough drive, and anyway, I take it that, you know, unless the campaign wants to,
we'll look at seeing what we can do on that.
You know, my understanding is that most of those people are employed by people in DC, and they feel a lot of scrutiny, and they're just like, I can't do that for you.
I'm sorry, you're talking...
There's political reasons that they don't want to sign for us.
That could be. That could be. But it goes beyond that, in my opinion, but that would be one of the reasons in this case. All right, Illinois, right now, we need 25,000 net. We're someplace, you know, I don't know the exact number, someplace 2,500 to 3,500 gross signatures right now, all volunteer. In order to do Illinois, we would need 30,000 signatures in the next 4 weeks. All right.
In the next 4 weeks.
In the next 4 weeks. 4 weeks from today is the deadline, June 24.
Have you started?
So we've started, and I've done 1196. All the other volunteers combined have done maybe 2,000, maybe.
So we're close to 4,000?
Well, close to 4,000, but I'm saying that it would take about 30,000 SIGs over 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, that would be about, at 500 SIGs per man week, 60 man weeks, or we would take a crew of, I think, about 15 full-time petitioners to knock that out. I don't know what the situation, I could...
15 experienced petitioners?
I think so, yeah.
So more than that if they're not experienced.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, what would this cost? $250 at a bare minimum, probably more. You know, and in these days, I've got 300 probably at a bare minimum. So that's the situation. We're going to continue with the volunteer drive there. Kentucky has just basically started, unfortunately, because a lot of time has been wasted there. I was there for a week. I did 540 in the week ending last Tuesday, and we certainly need volunteer SIGs. Bob Lynch may go there. I'll be in discussion with other petitioners. Oh, we do have a bid. We have a bid from a professional petitioning firm with a crew. I believe the quote was $7.50 per valid signature. So we may want to avail ourselves of that. It is doable. It's got a late deadline, September 6th. And so that's the situation there. I would say right now they're ballpark 1,000 signatures total.
Total, yeah, we do a little less.
A little less, okay. All right, so, okay. Minnesota, let's do that all volunteer, I hope.
I think they're amenable to that.
Okay, that's August 20 deadline, 2,000 net SIGs. That really should be doable, all volunteer. New Hampshire, I've been in touch with Stephen DeLay, I want to say. He's the governor candidate, pardon? DeLay, yes. I've been in touch with him. He seems quite enthusiastic about the New Hampshire drive. Now, I don't know what, it's 1,500 net in each of the two congressional districts.
And he also mentioned that their state where you can put president on the same petition with governor, so we can assist with...
D as in dog or B as in boy?
Delay.
V. It's spelled V-I-L-L-E-E.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
And just to clarify, when we did our Senate petitioning drives last time, it does 1,500 from each. We were aiming for 60,000 total, 3,000 from each, because a lot of those signatures, because RFK's already been there and got his, if you send theirs, disqualified. So a lot of signatures got disqualified. We only had about 54, 56% actual turnover. So it's, yeah. Good.
Wait, I have a question. When Kaufman and, oh my gosh, Carlin were collecting signatures and other people were collecting, did they cancel each other out?
they were on the same, there's one petition form.
Right.
So, but yes, the people
Not
who
the-
were running for governor and
Yeah.
senate that were competing against the libertarians, but they did cancel out.
Did we get an opinion on that?
Did we get an opinion?
A written opinion? Remember, it was a big controversy because it was like, oh, that won't be an issue.
It was whoever like turned in their signatures first is what they said.
Whoever turns in the signatures first. Okay, and RFKs are already.
Yes.
Okay.
So now,
You don't have to know whether, there's no way to check on whether, it's to pre-validate whether that's, I didn't think so.
Are they willing to set up a pre-validation system?
Asking the state to do that might be a little rough.
Well, there are some organizations that have access to data, you know.
I guess we could request copies of the petitions turned in and like manually.
It'd be easier to collect the extra.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would only look at an organization that already had access. Okay, thank you.
Okay, and I referred him, Mr. Belay, to, he's talked with a couple of people. Harrison has expressed interest in going over from Maine. I also referred him to Jim Tracy, who's a signature vendor out of Maine, who might be able to help out in New Hampshire. New Jersey, only 800 net SIGs. I would hope that New Jersey, it hasn't always been done volunteer, I'm afraid to say, but I would hope New Jersey could be done all volunteer at 800 net SIGs, July 29 deadline. New York, Mr. Goldstein's spoken to that situation earlier today. North Dakota, we're on. Ohio is done, Mr. Nana.
So part of this needs to be, well, actually, the ballot access committee is aware of some stuff in Ohio that is separate from our current independent petition. I need to get with you separately and kind of clue you in. But for the pay drive, we're done, and we've been done for a while. We've got roughly 9,000 raw signatures, so we're not in danger there. I think we're going to be fine.
For putting them on as an independent. Right, okay, presidential.
Mr. Redpath, New Mexico?
We'll get to that. Okay. Pennsylvania, August 1 deadline. Greg Deal said they have about 3,000 gross SIGs there right now, I think. So for now, Pennsylvania, got a little over 2 months to go. Need to stay on it, but it's not bad. Rhode Island, 1,000 net.
Right, 1,000 good. Opening period is July 2nd. My understanding is we've got to September 6th to 1,000. We've actually got two of our super volunteers here, Terry and Tom Markey. We're going to be working with them, and we're going to be working really hard today. We had our best petitioning ever last time, and that was with COVID. This time, we're going to get it done on our own.
Okay, excellent. Tennessee is 275 net, they
Tennessee
should.
is only 275 signatures.
275 net, August 20 deadline. So, I mean, but we've had some close calls there in the past. Oh, can't forget it.
But I missed something. How long does Rhode Island have to collect those 1,000 signatures?
July 2nd to September 6th.
Okay, was it just the governor candidate that only has like a week? Remember that insane?
Yeah, it's because we're independent. We've got actually extra time with it.
Okay, got it.
Mr. Burkett, is that 275 for independent?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the party is huge. The party petition is huge. And I'd like to address it.
Okay.
Excuse me, Bill, if I could interrupt just briefly. I was told that the notary will be here soon, and he's only going to be here for about an hour, so.
Well, we just need to meet with Mr. Kolstein.
Okay.
And then we have a second notary coming at 3:30 for everything else.
Okay, I just wanted to let everybody know before we went to executive session, just in case. Sorry.
That's right.
Okay, but part of the problem is none of these have been printed out because they're not all filled in yet.
Yeah, no, we haven't till 3:30. So is Andrew Kolstein here?
He just stepped out.
Okay.
I think.
He just needs like one signature each. Everything else is getting kicked till later in the day.
But I don't know how late the FedEx Center or anything is open to, so.
FedEx Center's closed.
It's Memorial Day.
Oh, well, how are we going to print these?
There is a printer at the front desk. I can get with you
We'll
afterwards.
figure it out, I'm not worried.
You know me, I'm panicking.
No, we're not panicking.
I'm worried about it.
We'll just drive around town if we need to, it's not a big deal.
Can I have a referral to some place from Oliver Hall? I texted him, and I have a referral.
There you go.
Okay, so Virginia I spoke of, we need volunteer signatures yet in Virginia, particularly Northern Virginia. I definitely understand need volunteer signatures in Northern Virginia. Washington is July 27 deadline, it's 1,000 net SIGs. They generally do this on their own, it's kind of a wacky system, but they successfully do it at 1,000 net SIGs. New Mexico, what Andy has turned in 2,200? What is your, that is my understanding?
Well, there's an email without the exact figure, because we had to talk to him about payment.
There's a ton of emails and I...
2,200.
There's always a ton of emails.
2,200, okay. So the number is 3582?
So they need
3562.
3562 and they have 2,200?
Raw. So, anyway.
Well, slow down. Andy turned in, we already have 2,200.
Gross.
That's just what we have, yeah. And the requirement is 3562.
3562 net.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and that deadline is 1 month from today, June 27th.
Okay. How long was Andy down there?
He's been there a while.
Well, as soon as he got done with North Dakota, that's where he went.
Yeah, he was here this weekend, but he flew back this spot.
Do we know what city he was in?
He's been in multiple places. He's finding it extremely hard to petition there.
Yeah.
New Mexico is a state that people aren't accustomed to seeing petitioners. He's having a hard time breaking open access to any private store. There's not a ton of events to do. The state is also most everybody lives in Albuquerque. So he's bouncing all over the place. He's found some post offices, but there's weirdness with the laws on post offices, and a lot of those ones don't have the public sidewalk that we need. They have the private one behind the public.
So we just need to dig into strategy on New Mexico.
Yeah.
We should have a little working session on this.
Okay, all right. And then there's the money situation. He has not been fully paid, but
He has not been fully paid.
We
has been
get that worked out.
Paid, well, we'll talk about that in an executive session.
The other matters I'd like to bring up in executive session, Madam Chair.
All right, so I think we should actually take a recess so I can do some notary stuff.
Okay.
And then,
30 minutes? Is that too long?
is it 1:30? Are we supposed to have
It is 1:30.
Hold on. What time is our party? 2. How long do you want to?
I can see executive session being 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay, great. So let's stand at ease for 10, 15 minutes, or we'll recess for 15 minutes.
Okay, recess for how long?
15 minutes.
Thank you, okay.
We'll break.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
We're back in order at 2 o'clock. I move that we go into, he's going to catch this, it's okay. I move that we go into executive session to discuss ballot access, legal strategy regarding some of our current litigation and other potential sensitive legal issues, and political strategy.
Second.
Any objection to going into executive session? None. Going once, going twice. Hearing none, we are in executive session.